Hi, hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Shout out to the Salem Coven members who are seeing this first. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And if you haven't already connected with me over on Patreon, it's completely free to join. And you'll still get some perks. I'll occasionally drop a YouTube video there early, or I'll make a video that was previously only accessible for the Salem Coven members, accessible for everyone. If a video is ever blocked on YouTube after I post it, it will be available for free on Patreon, plus it's ad-free. However, if you are interested, you can join the Salem Coven members and get early access to all of my content, extended versions, exclusive live streams, videos that I either can't put on YouTube or have to blur for YouTube, like music videos, or requested live performances, interviews, more weighing on what I do, things like that. All of the information will be in the description below. Okay, so today we are continuing on the Tyler the Creator journey, and we are entering into the, oh god, now I can't even remember. Call Me If You, oh my god, why can't I remember this? Guys, this is sad. Call Me If You Get Lost era. We're doing great. I haven't filmed in a while, in case you can't tell. I had filmed a bunch before the holidays. Granted, I don't know that it's that much different than me normally, but you know, here we are. So this video is going to be kind of my introduction into the Call Me If You Get Lost era, because there were a couple of things that was recommended that I do prior to starting the album. There was a couple different songs and different videos. I figured we'd just do this as its own separate video, and then we'll jump into the album in the next video. What Patreons told me in our, Tyler the Creator chat, in the comments, as well as some DMs I got, was that there was quite a bit of lead up that, looking back, was kind of Easter egging, which obviously, being a Swiftie, I'm very familiar with. I have in my notes red carpet with luggage. So I guess he had done a red carpet and he had like luggage with him, and that somewhere in the ensemble there was like hints to it, maybe like the album name, I think. It doesn't specify where that was, but given that he's carrying luggage, I'm gonna assume it had something to do with the luggage. I don't know how close that was, so if anybody wants to tell me in the comments, please let me know. But the next part of it didn't really give me a time frame for that. But then the next thing that I got told was that there was billboards that said, "Call me if you get lost," and there was a phone number that if you called, it had a message playing, and that the message changed over time. It says 1 week. I don't know if that means 1 week from the red carpet or if this was 1 week before the album. That part's unclear. Again, let me know. There was 2 songs that I was requested to listen to. It looks like one of them came out on April 17th, 2020, which was called 327. Westside Gunn and Joey Badass, featuring Tyler the Creator and Billy, is it Esco? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And then Something to Rap About by Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist, featuring Tyler the Creator, which was on May 29th, 2020. And then we fast forward to, I guess, like a teaser clip that I believe was in April 2021. And the final thing was Brown Sugar Salmon, which was on June 23rd, 2021. And then the album actually came out on June 25th, 2021. So a couple days after that last video. Also, disclaimer, I will talk about this in the album as well, but when I do that, but we are going to take this in 2 parts. So we're going to do the estate sale separate, which I believe is a deluxe edition, but I think it has quite a few tracks on it where it's almost like a double album, if you will. We'll do the initial, like the original album and the music videos. We'll do some live streams for some of the requested interviews, things like that. And then we will tackle the estate sale separately. So that's the plan. Sorry for the long intro, but just to kind of give you what we're doing here. So we're going to start with the 327, and I perhaps should have that up because I don't. I had everything else up, but I didn't have the songs, which, is important. To my knowledge, have not heard any of these other artists that are on the song, unless there's like, stuff I heard on the radio or something. I don't think I know any of these songs, so this will be all around new. I do feel like Joey Badass, I feel like I've seen in the comment section quite a bit. It's an artist that I should do reactions to, so I feel like I've seen that name before, I think. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the album cover.
Look, I swear Paris what we pray for. Release off white to the ankles. Ay, I'm in them places that you can't go. Don see me go in the same bro. I swear Paris what we pray for. I need Casablanca by the caseload. Oranges in the mangoes. I'm a model now, baby, got the face for it.
Hey yo, I rock you no lashes on the runway in my coat fashion. Anybody move from toe to
Okay, wait. The one thing, I'm such a lyrics person, but the one thing that I don't love, guys, I'm not a big fan of being on Genius by any means. I like always hold off on that. But the one thing I will say is that it tells me who is singing or rapping. And since I'm unfamiliar with these artists, I'd like to know who's who. So give me 2 seconds. Okay. So the beginning was Billy Esco and Westside Gunn. Okay.
my 327s was blessings, leather Vuitton vests. Keep a loaded firearm and Mercedes arm vests. Low stressing, 22 again.
Okay, already I do really like the little ad-libs. Really like this beat and kind of that staticky sound. Sometimes that's hit or miss for me with my sensory issues, but I like it. It's like I like this the best way I can describe this, and I don't know why it sounds like this to me. I wish I would have said at the beginning before I even started hearing them rapping, because it solidified it even more, obviously, when I heard what they were saying, but sounds luxurious. I don't know any other way to describe it, and I don't know why it sounds that way to me, but it does. It's the same way, okay, prefacing here, not saying they sound anything like, I just mean the feeling it evokes. In Taylor's new album, she has a song called Elizabeth Taylor, and it sounds very glamorous and luxe. And there's like a little bit of like a cinematic quality. I don't know. It feels very old Hollywood, which obviously Elizabeth Taylor, that makes sense. But there's something about this production too that has that same kind of like luxurious, I don't know. That's the best I got. I'm sure those of you who are better with explaining instrumentals and production elements would be able to tell me exactly why it evokes that, but it does, and I love that. And I know it says, I swear Paris will be prayed for, and it's got that designer element. And wasn't this album, didn't I see the album's name was something about Pray for Paris? Okay. I love when productions evoke something like that without even having the words. That's just like such a testament to that, and I really enjoy that, especially the fact that you felt that way even before they started rapping, which is wild.
Base 25 left in the cage. I told him, hold your head, it's worse in the grave. I threw coke in the pot, watched it bloom, residue and consumed. It started waving, had a light and dope spoon. A nigga try to kill you for your recipe. My shooting nasal drip flowing heavenly, ducking my third felony. Take your shine, 2 for 5, me and mine's running from suit and ties. You say you the flyest, then who am I? Balenciaga with the hell. Lemonade, a popular drink still. With long jean jacket, rockin' so be real. Overpass, I'm too exquisite. On the dance floor, trying to finger fuck on.
Is that Tyler who's doing the in the background? I feel like it is, but it doesn't have his name on the chorus. So, oh wait, no, I'm not in the chorus. I went down too far. Well, it didn't say anything, but it kind of sounds like him. I could be wrong though. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop for something like that, but I just heard it.
Every visit, some niggas will never risk it. Hopping in BMs and proud of moccasin shit. They never had a pot to piss in. Body Porsche on Cavalli dishes. On my hollin' in the drop Porsche while my loafers crocodile styling. I be having greater visions. You can tell by the way I whip it. You getting money, then the haters with it. It ain't dry, told them wait a minute. Praise both for the way I did it.
I swear Paris what we pray for. Release off white to the ankles. I'm in them places that you can't go. Don see me go in the same bro. I swear Paris what we pray for. I need Casablanca by the caseload. Silks with the oranges and the mangoes. I'm a model now, baby, got the face for it.
I really like the I'm a model now, baby, got the face for it. The way he sounds, I really love his vocal. I'm assuming that is Billy Esco, right? I hope I'm saying that name right. I'm sorry, but that he has like a beautiful tone. Love that. Listen, we have to have this conversation. First, let me preface by saying this is not a dig. I do not mean this in any way, shape, or form negatively at all. I mean this so neutrally, but I feel like I should explain this. You may have already picked this up from other videos, but designer stuff, luxury items, luxury brands, that is not something that I have a lot of awareness on. It's not something that's ever super interested me. There's been points in my life where I've been like, oh yeah, and I'll hear something or I'll see something and I'll be like, oh, that's really cool. I'll find out like a designer of something. So it's not like I'm completely unaware, but there's a lot of things that I just have no awareness of. I have never considered myself to be someone who has great style at all. That's never been like something that a talent I possess. I don't know how to I don't know how to explain the difference, but like I enjoy clothes, shoes and stuff, but it's like if I like it, I like it. And that's kind of like the end of it. So that is not an area that I have a lot of knowledge on. Obviously, I know some of the stuff in here, but I feel like there's a lot of things in here that I just don't really know. So I'm like looking at this and I'm like, I feel like there are things here that I don't know if those are brands, designers, or if it's something else. So like bear with me as we look at lyrics. I just feel like I should preface that because I'm getting the vibe that this is very related to fashion and design and luxury items, places, or events. And that is just not my strong suit. I get the Vuitton, I get the Mercedes. Like, obviously, it's not like I'm completely unaware. It's just, I don't know, there was some things throughout that I was like, I feel like that's some sort of designer something. The first thing that I do have a question on, well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of those, but one question I have is, what is the 327? Is that an item or is that like slang? What does that mean? Because, like, I mean, obviously it's an important part. It's the name of the song, but I just don't really know what that means. Maybe it'll tell me as I go on. That juxtaposition between perhaps what you had to do, you're trying not to catch my third felony and all this stuff, but then also seeing where he is now. And I don't know if this is meant to be like, this is where I was and this is where I am now. I just cannot get over the sound of this. I just love it. It's so pretty. It sounds like aged and I don't know. I'm a fan. It reminds me of, I'm trying to think of what song. I have a playlist where I put all of my like older music. And by older, I mean anything from like 50s, 60s, like anything that is, you know, decades old, if you will. And it sounds similar to something there. And I don't know if that's intentional or if that is a sample or maybe it's just meant to sound like it. Whatever it is, I love it. So with this first verse, I'm trying to figure out if, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter and it could be both. It's probably both, but it's like this juxtaposition between proximity and things that you did within the lifestyle of like surrounding drugs and then this luxury designer and like going into spaces, things like that. I don't know if that's like his early days versus now, or if it's meant to be like doing this got me this, which I mean, I guess technically has to be kind of true because that's going to be connected to your come up in some way. Like these are the things that shaped you and the things that you're rapping about. So I mean, I know those things are inherently the same, but I don't know if, I guess what I'm getting at is I don't know if it's meant to be taken as like a in the past versus now, or if it's meant to just be intertwined as just like a question I'm thinking about or, you know, kind of fathoming. But I don't know if that's a typical term. I feel like we've talked about this before because I'm having a little bit of deja vu when it comes to bloom flower imagery, when it comes to like cooking that. And I don't know if that's because I've heard that in a song before. I'm telling y'all, everything goes back for me personally goes back to clips. I'm like, thank gosh that the reactions that we've done for clips, new album and Tiny Desk performance, things I've read in the comments, learned has been so helpful in some other songs because I know I wouldn't get some of these references right if I hadn't done clips because I'm like, okay, I know what, you know, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be hard for me to deduce, but I just feel like I can picture things better because of clips. So anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. Regardless, I just really like the way that sounds, like for it to bloom. I don't know why, but I really like that. If I should like say that, but it just, I don't know, it evokes a like pretty image. These are things that I did not think I would be saying. Take your shine 2 for 5 me and mines. Okay, what again, I'm sorry I keep asking this question, but is the take your shine, I can't tell if that's like a terminology that's used or if that's more like how I was kind of taking it of you as a person or like things that you own or like how you like jewelry. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or if we're talking about this more in the sense of drugs or both. If someone could tell me, because I'm having a hard time making that distinction, my assumption is that it's probably a lot of doubles, that it can mean both things, but I would just be interested to know because I feel like that context helps me better understand. Running from suit and ties, you say I'm the flyest, then who am I? I really like that line because I'm like, do you mean running from those types of responsibilities? Do you mean that in the industry? What is the context there? I feel like I'm having a hard time with the song if you can't tell because I'm like, normally when I do lyrical breakdowns of like, my initial reactions, I have like a foothold and I build from there, but I'm not super confident on a lot of this stuff. So I'm like, I feel like I could go down this rabbit hole, but I feel like some context might help me get there better. I also love the lemonade, a popular drink still. I feel like that's a reference to something just because it feels like it feels random, and maybe that's just because either it's like slang or it's a reference to something. Either way, I don't know it, but it stuck out to me when I heard it. So I was like, I feel like that means something. Also, to go back, I'm sorry I'm bouncing around so much, but the 22 with grays, firearm or like you're 22 with grays because of like the stress and the lifestyle that you've been in? Or is it something totally different? And the only reason I say that is because it says 25 left in the cage, which makes me feel like you're talking about being incarcerated. But that also could just be in the cage of like confinement in general. But he did say the trying to duck in my third felony. So like I feel like that's what that means, but let me know. I loved the I'm too exquisite. The word exquisite, I just think is always such a pretty word. Loved that. They never had a pot to piss in. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm sure you can probably tell. I grew up in the South. And so just like hearing terms that I'm familiar with, I finally got one that I feel confident on. I loved the line of stylin', I be having greater visions. You getting money than the haters with it. It's like anytime that you're successful and, you create this for yourself, you're going to have people who are upset by that, envious of that. And talking about creative person or artist who is able to be financially successful creating their art is something that I'm always happy for. It's like I was talking about this with someone the other day. We were talking about like music ownership and I was like, well, the music's going to be owned by someone. Taylor, for example, like her catalog's $700 million. And that's only going to go up as time goes on. She's going to add more to her catalog and the evaluation of things because it's worth more over time. That's not going to change. I am a big believer in like, we need to have better things in place for this wealth inequality we have. But when it comes to artists specifically and stuff, I guess what it boils down to for me is, someone's going to have to own that. I would rather an artist own that and have that value associated with them and the people who created it versus venture capitalist group, which is what a lot of music catalogs are owned by, the labels, or whether that be like actual private equity firms. When it comes to people who are creating art and people value that and listeners, engage with that and that's how you're making money is through your art, kind of one of our lesser issues when it comes to that versus, these massive corporations that have tons of worker exploitation and, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I swear Paris what we pray for.
From an era of hard knocks and quiet storms. Rap songs about crack rocks and firearms in the stash spot on some money mission. Adjust the AC, conceal a biscuit. It's your life, you can choose to risk it if you wanna. These niggas don't want smoke, they want some marijuana. I used to get kicked out of class just for my aroma. I went to school high, forgot to pick up my diploma. It's way back when we used to cipher average.
I like that. I was high in the back. I'm telling you, I really love the ad libs.
shown us. Now I'm in that Maybach, I'm with Puff and Hova. We bending corners in the 6 deuce. Talk about last night's $10,000 bottles of Patchouli. Sip it like it's juice, homie. How could I lose the shit that these fools will do to be in my shoes? I'm done playing by rules. Learn from OGs, I'm retiring the jewels. Everything's plain Jane, different day, the same thing. I mean, it's usual. Everything that's new to you be the type of shit I'm used to. I could give a fuck about the hated shit I'm used to. If it's fuck me, then know the feeling is mutual.
I swear Paris what we pray for. Release off white to that ankle.
I really like that. If it's fuck me, then know the feeling is mutual. Might be my favorite line. Love that.
Hey, I'm in the places that you can't go. Don see me go in the same road. I swear Paris what we pray for. I need Casablanca by the caseload. Silks with the oranges and the mangoes. I'm a model now, baby, got the face for it.
Love that line too.
I swear Paris what we pray for.
Feeling good. Everybody say bitch, I'm all that, Keen and Cal. When I walk.
Stop. I love that line. I'm sorry, I'm stopping in the middle of a verse. Bitch, I'm all that, Keenan and Kel. Stop. I love that reference. The nostalgia that brings up. But also the I'm on my gun shit. I like that. One question that I have. Oh, my little heater turned on. I was so confused for a second. I was like, what's that noise? I know the album is Pray for Paris. And then in this song, it's I swear Paris will be prayed for. I don't know if I would understand that line better if I was listening to the song within the context of the album. But could someone explain to me the significance of that? Because I feel like that's lost on me right now. I don't want to minimize it to what I'm thinking it is, because maybe there's more to it, but is that just because of the design that comes out of there? Is it the aesthetic you think of? Is that what that is alluding to, or is it something else? Would love to know that, because I feel like that would help me understand the song better.
Yeah, niggas ring the bells. Roses at my feet, niggas kneel, bitches yell. Glitter on my neck, match the glitter on my fingernails. Niggas always got something to say, well fuck them. Same guys was mighty till they got the ducking. We got the pucks and we chucking. They playing chicken, we clucking. I'm Colonel Sanders to you motherfuckers. Niggas trash and we dumping. I've been rapping and fucking. He's 6'5", I'm a munchkin. And we speed to the disco. This car came with a driver, I'm in the back playing frontin'. I ain't crying, the wind is flying, stop making assumptions. I ain't lying, nothing. Yes, I'm so happy. I turn nothing into something, skin glowing, my head nappy. My health good, my mama good, my niggas too. When they only wanna have good times like Josh Safdie. We eat good, long way from Mac's Burgers. Long way from that Metro bus taxi service. Long way local gangs tried to taxidermy. We were running till our motherfucking backs was burning. Anyway, the short and the socks hot. And the emerald shining, them GQs and them pop pies. And I spy with my private eye that you tried. You cannot pull this look off, nigga. You're not
we pray for.
Pretty sure I already said this, but glitter on my neck match the glitter on my fingernails. Love that line. Always got something to say. Well, fuck them. It's like people are always going to talk. Same guys was mighty till they got to duckin'. We gotten all that. And then, well, Keenan and Kel technically was the spinoff, but then we also get the Mighty Ducks and then the Pucks. Love that. Playing chicken, we clucking, Colonel Sanders. That I loved all of that. I turned something into nothing. I love that. And him just talking about, like, my health's good, my skin's glowing. I'm so happy. Like, things are looking up for me. Where I'm at right now in my life is the energy that gives. And his mom, I love that. We eat good, long way from Mac's Burger. Is that a specific place, or is that like Mac? Like, the way he said it makes me feel like we're saying like almost like Mac's, like McDonald's. Or is that like an actual specific place? I feel dumb saying that out loud, but. And the emeralds shine in the GQs. Actual emeralds, or is he saying like eyes? What color are his eyes? I remember was it the last album where he's talking about like eyes, like eating veggies or something? Basically his eyes were green with envy type of thing. But I feel like his eyes aren't actually green, are they? Honestly, I'm really bad with knowing people's eye colors. I just don't look at it. It's really hard to tell in pictures, honestly. Maybe he's actually talking about emeralds. Because his eyes kind of look brownish in some of these pictures. I feel like it should not be this hard to find out someone's eye color. This says his eyes are dark green. I feel like the pictures don't really look like that though. Maybe he has like hazily eyes that kind of change. My eyes are more like a darker gray, but depending on what color I wear, I can make them look like really blue. I can also make them where they have like a little bit of a greenish hue. But really and truly, they're not the pretty gray, more gray toned blue than they are like blue. It doesn't matter. The point is that they can really change depending on that. But a lot of these pictures, they look more brown. Okay, we have spent way too much time on something like this, but I just wanted to know. I was just curious. So anyways, the only reason I was thinking eyes too was because of the, I Spy with my private eye that you tried. Cannot pull this look off. You're not I. I loved that. It sounded like Pop Pies, the way he said it, but it's Popeyes. And then, you can think of that as like the place Popeyes, but you can also think of it as like Popeye the Sailor Man and like spinach and the green. Which also does make me think about the whole veggies line in that other song. Okay. That went down a rabbit hole. Sorry. I ain't crying, the wind is flying. Stop making assumptions. I ain't lying or nothing. I also really liked that.
And it's to you motherfuckers. Niggas trash and we dumping. I've been rapping and fucking. He 6'5", I cannot pull this look off, nigga.
I swear Paris what we pray for. Release off-white to the ankles. I'm in the places that you can't go. Don see me go in the same road. I swear Paris what we pray for. I need Casablanca by the caseload. Silks with the oranges and the mangoes. I'm a model now, baby, got the face for it. I swear Paris what we pray for.
Summary. I didn't get a lot of the references that I probably should have got. This is unsurprising, given the context of the song. But I really liked the way it sounded. The sound is so pretty. It had that same sound throughout, and I liked that. And how Need is kind of drawn out a little bit. I don't know what it is about that, but that is so pretty to me. I just love the tone of his voice. That is beautiful to me. I would listen to this over and over again because the sound, it's also got this, I said at the beginning, it's like kind of this luxurious, and I stand by all that, but it also has this kind of hypnotic quality. I think part of it is his tone, but I think it's also just that mixed in with the sound of the production is very like hypnotic. I think that's an interesting way that it makes you feel because, and again, I'm not meaning this as a negative. It's your money. You spend it on what you want to spend it on. This is not a judgment, but it is kind of interesting. And maybe it's just my mind going there because a lot of what we've listened to on this channel has been, for example, like Kendrick struggling with this like material possessions side of things, being drawn to that and him struggling with that. And we've seen this in other ways too, across the artists that we've listened to on this channel. So maybe I'm just going there because we've had that so much in the past. But it is kind of interesting that it is kind of this hypnotic production because it is that alluringness of it. And I just think that's interesting. I don't know if it was intended to be that way. It almost has a sensual sound to it. And I don't necessarily mean that sensual in the way you would normally think of it. I think it's just the alluringness of it. I wish I could come up with better adjectives here, but apparently it's just the same like 4 I'm cycling through. I feel like I didn't break down a lot here just because, like I said, a lot of things I just feel like I miss because I just don't have that knowledge base. But it sounds so pretty that I'm like, I just want to listen to it again specifically because of the sound of it is just, we need to move on. The next song is from, like I said, May 29th, 2020. And it is Something to Rap About. Freddie Gibbs, The Alchemist, and Tyler, the Creator. I feel like we've come across The Alchemist before, right? Because he's a producer. That's a name we've heard before.
Bitch.
Is that oh, that's because the album. Okay, I was looking at the artwork and I was like, is that Alfredo? It's the album is literally called Alfredo. I wonder why. And it's got like the X and like almost like it's like a pup. Why Alfredo? I mean, there has to be a reason. I just am very curious to know what it is. Can someone tell me, please and thank you?
Nigga, nigga, bitch. Nigga, bitch. Boogie, boogie, nigga. Boogie, boogie, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Sniff it up.
Wait, is this another one of those times where it's like basically anything white means? Is it one of those occurrences, or am I just throwing that out there because it's just when I was just in my head thinking about Alfredo and I was like, white, Alfredo sauce is like white, or that could just be totally unrelated. This also kind of has this kind of sound, laid back and like, I mean, maybe it'll change, but so far, I wonder if the reason you guys told me to do that is that that kind of sound was going to be carried. If it is, I'm going to love that album or this album. The album that we're going to get to is my point. But anyways.
Sniff it up. Fuck nigga came to my section on Sunday, then put shit on the bottles and I just ate, drinking, dip. Fuck nigga. Hey yo, scamming niggas maxing out, ratchet bitches acting out. God made me sell crack, so I had something to rap about. Lobster lollipops and crustaceans, so what you mad about? I fucked her twice in Vegas, that pussy one shit to brag about. And I can't draw for shit, but I knocked the bitch at a paint and sip. Magnums and some sweet aromatics, yeah bitch I came quit. You sucker shit with no whole mistletoe and Christmas exchanging gifts. She don't like it, bitch can punch out, niggas be changing ships. Yeah, these niggas bringing out the old me. I'm trying to live the 93 and see the old me. When I touch that crack, I let them crackers take control of me. Serve the peace, Caprice ain't got no heat, man, it was cold, G. Record labels down me 40,000 on my first advance. Fucked up on my taxes, IRS got me on payment plans. Crime fucking pays, but once you paid, you gotta pay the man. Straight survival, right hand on the Bible, I won't take the stand. Yeah. VL niggas trap it out. Lord, let me hit this hoe, so I had something to rap about. Been through shit with hoes that I look back and I can laugh about. This shit wasn't no joke, sitting in that cage, this shit was dragging out. Diego tripping cause I'm sitting, ain't no package out. He robbed the plug, kicked in the door and cleaned the mattress out. Right back in the trap, these niggas bringing out the old me. I'm trying to live the 93 to see the old me. Yeah.
The sound of this, again, so pretty. I love the sound of both of these two songs. So maybe Alfredo is what I thought it was, since it was talking about that. There was just a couple things I wanted to call him at. The God made me sell crack, so I'd have something to rap about. The way he said, I don't know, I just liked his tone when he said the lobster lollipops and crustaceans, ho, what you mad about? Something about that, really enjoyed that. I don't know why. I feel like you guys have probably figured this out by now. When it's just talking about like the girls stuff, I just don't have a lot to say about those things. Sometimes I know it doesn't always mean that, and I understand that. Obviously, we've seen that with Kendrick's songs and stuff, but like there's not a lot for me to personally comment on unless I like really see it being maybe a double about something else. So if you've ever wondered why I kind of skip out on those parts, it's just usually because I don't have a lot to say on that, and I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, unless I think it's a double thing. And a lot of times I also don't pick up on it, so you guys may be yelling at me right now, being like, you're not seeing it. Fair, as always, let me know. I don't know what it is about this line, but I'm like genuinely obsessed with it. Bringing out the old me. Apple, do you want to fight today? Apple's always trying to fight me. Apple Music is. Okay, stop moving. I put you here. I do not want you to move. Bringing out the old me. I'm trying to live to 93 and see the old me. I don't know what it is about that line, but I am genuinely obsessed with it. You want to see these old versions of me, versions that I've grown from, that I've grown out of. I can't return back to who I was before. That person doesn't exist anymore. And instead of thinking about that being the old me, I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about future me, and I'm trying to live this like long life, and I'm trying to always be like present versus like worrying about the stuff in the past or worrying about the past versions of me. Yes, of course, you have to sometimes look at your past to learn from your mistakes. All of that is absolutely true and all that stuff. But in this context, I love that concept so much. When I touch that crack, I let them crackers take control of me. Ooh, Oh, it's giving me that like Section 80 energy, that Ronald Reagan era, that vibe from Section 80. And I love that. Not comparing, it's just connections that make me feel like I understand things a little better. That's what that makes me think of. But the Serve the Beast, Caprice Ain't Got No Heat, Man, it was Cold G. Record labels downed me 40,000 on my first advance. Just the exploitation of the industry, always something I enjoy hearing different perspectives on. I just think that almost every artist you interact with has talked about it at one point or another. There's something to that. I think you can acknowledge that access to resources and money and all these things, of course, that is a privilege, but those things do not exclude you from being a human being and dealing with human emotions. It does not preclude you from having negative emotions to have to deal with. You're getting out of survival mode and you're not having to worry about these like very real things that so many people have to deal with every single day. You can acknowledge that you have that as a privilege, but it does not mean that you do not have other things going on and that it is all sunshines and rainbows and that you can no longer have issues. As an artist gets bigger, I feel like the perception of them becomes further and further from a human being a lot of times. So I just always like hearing different perspectives on that. Fucked up on my taxes. IRS kept me on payment plans. Crime fucking pays, but once you pay, you got to pay the man. Straight survival, right hand on the Bible, I won't take the stand. Oof. I loved all of that. I also loved this shit was no joke, sitting in that cage, the shit was dragging out. Interesting that we had cage in both songs too. And just to throw this out there, I think I've talked about this before too, but cage imagery, whether that be from like an incarceration standpoint or whether that be from being trapped in lifestyles or being perceived like an animal caged from like public perception, expectations. I've always loved that metaphor, whether that be from public figures, from books. Everyone at one point or another has felt trapped and caged in situations, in environments, in relationships, and that is something that is relatable to everyone, regardless of where you're at, who you are, or what your life experience is at. Some people's cages are obviously much larger, detrimental, and dangerous, and all of these things. But I still feel like that feeling of being trapped or caged is something that everyone has experienced in some form or another. So pretty.
Freddie sent me this shit. This sound like the boat I haven't bought yet. This sound like the moment I jump off it. Sunshine and cold water filling in my pockets. This lake water better than the faucet I grew up with. We hold our breath like grudges till we nauseous. We hop out, let the sun dry us like raisins. To get dressed in some Gucci or Lacoste shit, it's amazing. We look like polo ads, but skin is darkened. I gotta move cautious, cause niggas malicious. They come from the trenches. I used to be a goblin under them bridges. Now I'm a businessman. I started getting moolah as younger, now I got bigger hands. I hold them if I got too much on me, I know my niggas can. I keep my circle tight like tops. Nothing corn, no crops. You messy and get cleaned up with the mop. I went to school and I ain't miss it a lot. So I could be around niggas like you and learn how to keep my distance. I cut some niggas off some hater shit niggas said to me. R.I.P.T's cause these motherfuckers is dead to me. Nella's in the coffin. Murder, I'm sick of y'all niggas and I ain't coughing. I know me, y'all often anxious, lost in y'all thoughts and I don't relate. So keep that energy away from me. Don't blame me cause you ain't got it figured out. You ain't got the bigger house, the jig is up. You jealous dog, my afro long, I pick it out like cotton on some basics. Shit is off, we ain't adjacent. I'm grounded like the pavement, we ain't linking like the bracelet broke. Better get your wrist and hold on the thoughts you get and go the fuck away cause niggas get they faces broke. I just got a thumbs up and niggas go like good job. You better find a shoe store and get your soul, get it quick, slip it on. And I'll be a Mykonos, lemonade sipping slow, jumping in the water off that boat I haven't bought yet.
I need to go back, hold on. This is making me feel like the fact that you guys wanted me to do these songs before the album, considering that both things were kind of present, this like other side of life versus this more exclusive life, this more luxurious life, more material sides of things, whatever. The fact that both of these songs have these two things present. And then in this song, it almost is like the first verse is this one, and then you've got Tyler coming in with just this different aspect of life. If this is the energy that we're going to get in Call Me If You Get Lost, it makes it sound like we're maybe reflecting on fruits of your labor, what's important to you now. And what I mean about what's important to you now is I don't necessarily mean that in a luxury thing. I mean about the, like you said, Tyler's verse kind of hinted at the people around you and like people who like want to see you succeed, keeping your circle small, that kind of energy, as well as almost like this like protecting your peace kind of thing. From what I understand from Tyler, obviously fashion is something that's very important to him. He has his own fashion lines. That is a creative outlet for him. So that's something that's important to him. And it's something that he cares a lot about fashion and style and having his own unique brand that he's created, reflecting on where you were in the beginning versus where you are now. Maybe. Watch me be totally wrong. There was a few other things that really stuck out to me. So Nail is in the coffin. Freddie sent me this shit. This sounds like the boat I haven't bought yet. Again, that more like luxurious sound. I feel like that's what that's alluding to. Sun shining, cold water filling in my pockets, this lake water better than the faucet I grew up with, where it's like, yeah, like the then versus now. We hold our breath like grudges till we nauseous. That is a wild line, but I like it. That coffin and then the RIP, because these people, are dead to me. You find out who your friends are kind of energy. We dress in some Gucci or Lacoste shit. It's amazing. We look like Pola ads, but the skin is darkened. I feel like he would hate me using this word, but I don't mean it in like a negative way, but more of that like preppier vibe is what the image that creates. Boats and yachts, like that energy. I gotta move cautious. Again, you find out who your friends are and why people want to be around you. I used to be a goblin under them bridges, but now I'm up in this. Him calling back to Goblin, very interesting. I started getting Moolah younger. Now I got bigger hands to hold them. And if I got too much, I know like my people can hold this too. Meaning like you can trust your friends. You can trust the circle that's around you. And I think that trust and loyalty and something that I feel like artists, the bigger you get with your public figure status or the more financial gains you earn, the more you have to be cautious about the people that you have around you. Do they actually want to be around you for you or just what you can provide them or the status that they perceive you as? Not being a public figure, you still have those things. You still are trying to figure out like, are people there for you? There are people who have just bad intentions and energy vampires and all that kind of stuff. And that's just for someone who's not even living a public figure life. But I feel like that just gets bigger and bigger as it goes on. I like the You Messy getting cleaned up with the mop. Also interesting, I went to school and I ain't miss a lot like you and learning how to keep my distance. Interesting, because this was 2020, right? Yeah, and like the distance learning thing. Interesting. Also, I just want to say this. I know it's like nail in the coffin. This is the final cutting things off. I understand that. But it's also just funny because I get when I do have my nails on, I get coffin-shaped nails. So just anytime I see that, I'm like, takes me a second. There's one other thing that I really wanted to comment on. Where is it? Oh, y'all often anxious, lost in y'all thoughts. I don't relate. So keep that energy away from me. Don't blame me because you ain't got it figured out. I think that is very, very interesting because kind of same energy in the last song, but this song, it's even more apparent and like spelled out. I see why y'all wanted me to do these songs because it does feel like you're entering a new era. It does feel like he's taking on a new persona because Igor, him saying, I can't relate, that anxious and like being in your head. And he's like, oh, I can't relate to that. I'm like, that is clearly a different version of Tyler or alter ego or whatever, because that's basically all that was. I feel like this is like really indicating that we're shifting gears here. That lost in thought, being in that endless vicious cycle, that loop. I mean, that was Igor. That immediately stuck out to me for sure. We ain't linking like the bracelet broke. Also love that. Better get your wrist that hold on the thoughts you get and go. Yeah, I really liked that. Again, I know I've said that multiple times throughout this video, but both of these songs, the sound, you better find a shoe store to get your soul, get it quick and slip it on. Like, yeah, shoe sole, but also soul. Just loved that. So interesting, though, that both of these songs had the lemonade. You know, the other song, I know it wasn't Tyler who said that line, I don't believe, in the last song, but it is interesting him saying lemonade sipping slow, life is lemons, you make lemonade. Like, yes, all of that stuff, but it's just interesting that that was present in both songs. Anytime I hear something that's a direct link, whether it was intentional or not, I feel like I want to point that out because it could be something. Maybe nothing, could be.
Jumping in the water off that boat I haven't bought yet. Bitch. One take. Let me hear that. I meant to say Mykonos.
I love that he was like, I meant to say Mykonos. Because how did he say it earlier? What was it? He said like Mykonos?
And I'll be a Mykonos.
Mykonos, yeah. I was like,
I meant to say Mykonos.
love that. So pretty.
The thing. That he died from alcohol, you're not afraid.
But if you write dull shit, it doesn't do any good what you die.
Be civilized people, because the world is uncivilized, and these are
Oh, okay, so that's the transition. Okay. Well, I really liked that. So interested to see what this album entails because I feel like I'm getting a vibe for it. Now, granted, it's Tyler, so he may switch it up completely. We may get into this and it is totally different. And, you know, who knows? Next up, I need to scoot over a little bit so I can share my screen. This was, I believe, from like June 14th, 2021. I didn't want to look too deeply because I don't want spoilers, but I think that's about the time that this came out, called Side Street. Oh, there's a popper. Oh, I hate that. I'm sorry. That's like very, very loud to be right in my ear. Oh, that's probably super loud because I didn't turn the volume down for your side of things. So sorry. We'll fix that in post.
Baby, who the fuck is that?
No one.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm so excited to go check out this new matcha store.
There's so much to unpack here. Okay, first thing out the gate that I'm noticing, I feel like I'm seeing the style shift from Eeyore. I love the car. I love the pink. The pupper's so cute. I loved a pupper. Also, that was Taco? I know it's not Jasper. That's Taco, right? If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I feel like that's who that was. Anyways, okay, so do we have another love triangle? Because respectfully, Tyler, we have got to stop going into love triangles. What do you mean? Oh, Lord. Last thing, I love a good matcha. Just needed to point that one out. I always enjoy seeing aesthetically what he does. I'm interested to see what this, because I loved the Igor style. And you always know he's going to play with color, but kind of like where he pulls from. And this being a little bit more of like that preppier kind of look. I think there's a better word for that aesthetic, kind of collegiate, academy type vibe. I don't know. I feel like there's a better like academia, but this was like almost like a colorful, I don't know. The point is I'm excited to see where we go from here. But oh God, another love triangle? I'm concerned. We have one more. Brown sugar salmon. I love that we're on a train. I love trains. Also, I love a good hard luggage. So I'm liking this vibe. And we're in mountains. I'm obsessed. I'm trying to figure out what time frame he's pulling from. It's definitely got something to it. Okay, we're just gonna play this. How long is this one? Okay, 2 minutes, 44 seconds. So maybe this one is a song.
Good day, Sir Baudelaire. What can I do for you?
Oh, dude, I am
So is that our character name, Baudelaire? I'm sorry, I just can't think about Baudelaire without thinking about Lemony Snicket and Series of Unfortunate Events. Okay. Is that what that's for? Is that for something else? I mean, I know that's not the I know there's another thing that could be Baudelaire, and it's I can't figure out if that's like a historical. Well, I mean, I guess if it's in the past, obviously it's historical, but I mean that more in like a I was gonna say an author, but I was gonna say or like historical thing, which obviously if it's an author that's no longer with us, that is history, and I understand that. But I mean it more in like a not necessarily a historian, but like, you know, someone who was like a public figure, scientist, or you know, something like that. In the past. I feel like Baudelaire is some oh my god, that scared me. Jesus. Yeah, I did forget to plug in my sorry if the screen moved a little bit. Okay, it doesn't matter. We need to focus. But just the first thing I was like, Baudelaire. So is that the first name? Okay. Or did she say Sir? Hold on. What did she say?
Good day, Sir Baudelaire.
Sir Baudelaire. Okay, so Baudelaire's last name. So is he referring to himself as Tyler Baudelaire, or is there a different first name? I'm sure all will be revealed. But I'm just excited to get to know the like alter ego.
What can I do for you?
Oh, dude, I am so fucking hungry and I just want to eat. Could I get the brown sugared salmon?
Okay, so our dinner plates this evening are the braised Bohemian beef or the brown sugared salmon.
Yeah, I know. I want the brown sugared salmon plate with the potatoes, and I don't want Brussels sprouts.
I'm so sorry. We are out of that. The chef actually ran out of salmon because there was a trivial boat shortage at the lake.
So why did you mention it in the first place?
Because that's our specials.
Okay. All right, cool. Let me just get the braised Bohemian beef with the potatoes, and I don't.
Mr. Baudelaire, I'm gonna have to check if we have the braised Bohemian beef.
Same. I've been a server. Listen, being in that, I get it. I have so much respect for them. I have so much respect for anybody, especially food industry. I'm the first one to be like, listen, people have a hard day. You don't know how horrible other tables might be being to this person. Like 100%. But every once in a while you come across someone and you're like, because like I will ride for if any catch me at a table where I'm with someone who's being disrespectful, it's not happening. It's not happening. And if I hear at a table near me, like I will step in. Like I can't. If that happens in my presence, I will shut that down. But every once in a while, you're like, I'm wanting to defend, okay? But you're not giving me a lot to stand on. Like you gotta give me something that I can help defend you on because. Anyways.
Are you fucking dumb?
I wouldn't exactly be how I'd approach it, but
Are you fucking dumb?
I'm just gonna have to double check that we have that.
Who's running this place? Who's in charge here?
I'm in charge, Mr. Baudelaire, and thank you so much for traveling with us. Is there a dilemma I can sort out?
I'm starving and I just want dinner.
Oh, well, our dinner specials are the braised Bohemian beef and the brown sugared salmon.
I fucking know. And this lady keeps on telling me that.
My name's Trina, sir.
Okay, well, Trina, sir, keeps saying it's no salmon, it's no beef, it's no anything, and I just want...
It's not no anything, Mr. Baudelaire. It's the braised Bohemian beef or the brown sugared salmon.
I think this is one of those moments where you're like, God grant me patience. I say that a lot in my head. I'm like, grant me patience, please, because
He's leaning towards the beef.
Trina, would you quadruple check if we have the beef?
Yes. We do not have the braised Bohemian beef.
Oh, geez. I'm so sorry, Mr. Baudelaire. I have just got word that we are, in fact, out of the braised Bohemian beef. But we are now serving complimentary yogurt. Now, would you like strawberries or granola?
We are out of the yogurt.
I'm sorry. I have so many questions in my head right now. I'm just like spiraling, trying to figure out like how that's gonna like. I mean, it's Tyler. I know there's a vision. Okay, there's a vision. I just am like, I've never had someone keep me more on my toes and have me more confused than Tyler, the creator. I mean, genuinely, like he baffles me. I'm just always these reactions. I'm so baffled all the time. I just like don't even. He just leaves me so confused all the time, and it's like I don't know. I've said this before about him. Like he is just such a wild card. I rely so much on patterns and predictability that when I come across someone who's just like I got nothing. Like, how is this gonna tie in? And the sad thing too is that I know there's the vision, but then also sometimes he just really does throw in something random. And he's like, I just wanted to do this because I thought it looked cool. And you're like, that makes the predicting even harder. Like, because you're like, okay, let me really excavate this. Like, what could be happening? But then also you have to take into consideration, this could be, I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was cool. But you also can't fully rely on that either because there could be a vision. Like you just don't know. Okay. Well, I am deeply curious about this album because what do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. I need to end this video. I feel like I gave nothing in this video, I'm gonna be honest, other than I like the way this sounds. If by chance this is your first video with me, I promise I can have a coherent thought. There just wasn't a lot in this particular video. But like maybe give me another shot. I cannot wait to jump into this album. At the very least, you guys having me doing these kind of like intro to the era here made me deeply curious. So thank you for that because there's nothing more that I cannot stand than being like, I need to know. So now I'm like ready. So thank you for that. I am sure I missed so much per usual. Those first two songs, I didn't, a lot of things I'm sure I did not get. So I'm sure you guys can tell me lots. So as always, please let me know what did I get right, what did I get wrong, what did I miss? I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about editing this video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.